Hey, I'm Supats, lifelong solopreneur. Now living my life with only one passion to help solopreneurs to launch their digital products on fast track so that they can be profitable as fast as within 1 week, and they want to scale, they can join the membership. And as a bonus, I show them how they can sell their digital products all over the world using affiliates. Without further delay, let's get started. Welcome to New Beginning Inspiration for You podcast. And here we have all the topics and guests who come and share their insights and inspire you to do your work better. And hey, if you're looking for opportunities, of course, they share their ideas and you can look into their offers. And today we have a guest, Anmol Singh. He is going to tell you the world of trading, and he's of course expert at many other things, but mainly I'm going to focus on trading because my husband is very much into trading, my daughter is getting into trading, and personally I'm not much involved into trading, so I want to learn more. And hey, many traders I came across, they were yeah, over 50. For the first time, I'm coming across with such a young trader. So I just want to know more about his journey. So without further delay, let me invite Anmol Singh. Anmol Singh, the stage is all yours. Welcome to New Beginning Inspiration for You podcast. I want to know how you got started into your field at such a young
Yeah,
age.
definitely. I
Tell me
actually
more.
started when I was 18 years old. So I was 18, and I was in
Oh,
college,
wow.
and I started like really reading on the subject, really researching on it, taking courses, and meeting people. And I just got like really curious about it, And the more I learned, the more curious I became. And I always wanted to know, like, why do the stocks go up and down? Who decides that? Like, what causes that? Like, I just wanted to really learn everything. So I started just kind of, really getting into the subject. I used to write a blog. I used to write articles for like Yahoo Finance and all of that while I was still in my college. And that's how I originally got into it. And I've been doing that ever since. I've never had a job. I've been basically trading since I was 18 years old. Yeah.
Yeah, because my daughter started at the age of 18, but still she's doing
Right.
as a side hustle because I think the amount of trading she's doing, she's not seeing really substantial income
Mhm.
to live on. So I want to know more about your journey, means how you can create such substantial income so that you never had to
Yeah,
look
I
for
mean, I
a
think I,
job.
I I actually wanted to always get a job because I was like, just give me like a fixed income, I'll be happy, and there's no uncertainty. And I applied. I applied to a lot of jobs, from the best companies all the way till the even the basic new startup companies. I applied everywhere, but apart from like maybe a few interviews, I did never really got a call back. So I think that's when it dawned on me that I can't just sit here and wait for people to give me my job or to for my financial future. I can't rely on anybody, so I have to do it myself. So that's kind of what got me started into that. But yeah, I think what you just shared about your daughter, I mean, that's the experience for most people. When they come in, it takes a little bit of a time to learn. Like, I didn't make any money my first year, right? But the benefit was that I was still in college in my dorm room. I didn't really have to need any money, right? So it's much different for people now who start much later in life because you're going to need some sort of income to coming in, right? So, but it usually takes about a year or so before people start seeing success. But that's just like any other business, right? You can start a new business, but it's going to take you 1 2 years for the business to go. So trading is the same thing. It's just like a business. So you have to treat it like a business. But the problem most people do is they just try to buy stocks, sell stocks, and they think they're trading, but what they're really doing is they're gambling, right? I mean, for you to know trading, you need to know your statistics, your odds, all of that stuff, and your strategy needs to be tested to see how it would have done over the last 10 years. So even if you're starting to trade now, see your strategy and go back and take a look how it would have done over time. And that's what we call back testing. So we want to try to be the casino, not the player in the casino. If you're a player in the casino, you're going to lose. So you have to learn how to be the casino. And that's kind of what I teach people how to do.
Yeah, it's absolutely right because I started a digital business and In my digital business, I always see the statistics. The real money you
Mm.
start seeing in your third year, and sometimes it
Yeah.
can be even the fifth year. But then many people actually quit their business within first or second year, and they don't really see the real money. So, and it's applicable for any business, because I was also into network marketing, and they always said, you first 2 years it is basically education. You learn yourself, and once you are familiar with that particular field, you start applying, and then you start seeing results. So it is true for any
Yeah.
business, no doubt about it. And yeah, so I was going through your profile, and there are few sentences really intrigued me. Now, you in the business world, they always say, for example, in the digital business world, I always hear you find the passion, and then you create your product or course around it, and then later on you do sales and marketing. So you create your product based on your passion, because then you know that particular area, then you can create the best in that particular field, and the other people who are not much proficient in that area,
Mm.
they are willing to pay for you. but in your profile, I saw one sentence that passion is irrelevant, and it is such a polar statement. So I want your insights on that. Why do you say the
Yeah, I
passion
think
is
because
irrelevant?
it's like a very cliche advice people give people, like follow your passion. Well, what does that even mean, right? Like, I can be passionate about basketball all I want, but I'm never going to play the NBA, right? Like, I'm going to be average. I could be passionate about golf,
Yeah.
but if you're brand new, you're not going to be good at it, right? So, but in real world, you have to be good at it. So, what I found is, like, if somebody's good at something, guess what happens? They automatically become passionate about it, right? Whereas if you're passionate about it but you're not good at it, then you can be passionate all you want. There's so many broke artists around the world. There's so many people who still try to, keep playing, but there only 11 people are going to make it to the sports team. So if you're not good at it, your passion's only going to take you, this far. But if you're good at something, you can always add passion to it, right? You can take a look at anybody who's good at anything in their life. You will notice that they're automatically passionate about it. But you will also find people who love doing something, but they're not good at it. They're not going to be passionate. So when you get good at something, you automatically get passionate. So I think people need to get good at whatever they want to do first, and then guess what? You'll see how passionate you automatically start becoming. So I think that's kind of the process that I go by. And one of the things for me was, like, when I came to New York, I wanted to meet like all these hedge fund managers, these billionaires, and I donated to a lot of their charities and stuff, so I can just have lunch with them, dinner with them. So I used to donate to their charities, and one of the things I always hated was I would have lunch or dinner with them, and I'd ask them, what advice would you give me? And they're like, oh, follow your passion. I'm like, that doesn't do me any good. You could say that in a YouTube video. Yeah, it sounds good in a YouTube video or in media. You can say follow your passion, but that's irrelevant advice. Like, okay, what do I need to do now? What do I need to do next? So I think people should focus more on what they should do right now, the next step that they can take in their business to move the needle forward, and just focus on that. And as you see, as your business improves, as your whatever you do in life improves, you'll automatically start getting passionate about it. When I wasn't making money, I wasn't passionate. When I started
This
making
is
money, I got passionate.
yeah, this is so true. For example, my passion is to
Yeah.
travel. So, and I think I'm really following your advice that first focus on your business, let it establish, and then follow your passion. And that is what I have been doing. Means basically, once the business is established, I can have a laptop business, and I can travel, and I can build a business. But hey, just because I love to travel doesn't mean I
Yeah.
need to open travel agency, right? It doesn't make any sense.
Mm.
You're so absolutely right. So now I want to know more about what is number one key to success
So
in
in,
your
in my book,
opinion.
Prepping for Success, I talk about the 10 keys for success. So one of the, I think the most important ones is integrity. Is do what you said you're going to do, and then do it when you said you're going to do it. And do it whether you feel like it or not, but you're doing it because it's the right thing to do. So that's kind of how I live my life, because you could give people all the strategies in the world. You could tell people, "Hey, do this, do this, do this." And they say, "Okay, yes, tomorrow I'm going to do it." Right? But if they don't do it, nothing's going to change. Life's not going to improve. Life's only going to change when you change. So you have to do it, right? You have to take action on the things. So a lot of times, and you probably, like me, know people who in 2020 were like, I want to start my side hustle, I want to start my business, but I'm really busy, I don't have the time, I have a job. And then in 2020, people had all the time in the world, everybody was at home, you had all the time in the world, and people still didn't start it. So they say they want to do something, but they don't do it. So I think that's the thing, you have to follow through on your word. When you say you're going to do something, make sure you do it, and you complete it when you said you're going to do it. So I think that's the biggest difference maker.
No, it is so important because if you lose money, yeah, you will make it. But if you lose word,
Mm.
means you lost everything. Integrity is so important, and that is the way you prove yourself. You keep yourself aside from your competitors, and that is really, yeah, I can surely agree. It is a number one key to
Yeah.
success. So, what about the stock market? Where do you think it is headed next? Because there's so many billionaires and they're making so many changes, and every time their one change creates another ripple effect on stock market. So how to evaluate where it
Yeah, I think
is
the best
going?
way to do it, the way I do it, is I just look at the charts. So I ignore the news, I ignore what's happening in the world. I don't care about the company or even the CEO or what they do. None of that matters, right? It's all charts because price is the only thing that matters. Because we all know companies that we think are great companies, but their stock still keeps going down. And we all know companies that are horrible companies, but their stock keeps going up. So clearly, the fundamentals of the company is not what matters in the market. What matters is momentum and price action. So that's why I think you need to know how to read charts. So you know when to buy, when to sell. All those things are really important to know. So if you're talking about where the markets are going now, so I think in the short term, anything could happen. So unless you are a trader, like me, if you're trading, then you can, look at the charts and you could try to manage those charts. But if you're not somebody who's trading and you're investing in it for, let's say, the long haul, then it doesn't even matter. You should not even look at what the markets are doing day to day because it doesn't matter. Because long term, it's always going to go up, right? In the short term, maybe you go down. But if you look at like 5, 10-year horizons, we're always going to go up. The stock market has been higher every time than the previous 10 years, every single time. So based on that, where do we think the market's going to be in 2032, 2042, 2052? The answer is much higher than where it is today. So even though short term, these dips can happen, if you're investing, just buy it and forget about it. Like long term, it's going to go up. Now the difference is if you pick stocks, then you can go wrong, right? If you're just buying the overall market, like the S&P 500, Vanguard fund, or Nasdaq, in the long run, it's going to continuously go up, and your money is going to double every 6 to 7 years. Now, if you take your money out, then it's not going to double, right? Or if you don't put your money in, it's not going to double. So I think that's kind of the thing. As an investor, don't care what the market's going to do. As a trader, then we read charts, so we decide when to get in, when to get out. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember actually my husband and I, we had taken course on Warren Buffett strategies for investing and all. And there the presenter once mentioned that if you had invested like $1 50 years back into this particular company, it would have
Hmm.
been like so many millions now. And then everybody in the class were so regretting like that, and I still remember that. But he said, hey, you missed that, but
Yeah.
don't miss now. You missed that point, but it's okay, you just correct and you can just move on, and you
Yeah.
just miss that. I also have a question about diversification, because I remember one of my friends, she uh, she really was excited about one app, and she said, oh my goodness, this is going to be really a big thing, other than the next thing, like this is the best thing after the sliced bread and all. And she put all her money into that app, and that app disappeared after just few months, because what she thought, either that app owner, that they will go either big, or they will be acquired by some big company, and somehow she will get great
Hmm.
returns, but it didn't happen. So, what is your opinion about that? Means how to invest in one particular company, or how
Yeah, I
to
think
diversify?
what you're just story you were just sharing, that's a very common story. A lot of people do that, but that's not investing. That's gambling. That's speculating. That's basically you saying, "Oh, this will happen. This might happen." Well, nobody knows it's going to happen because if you did know, then it's insider information. So nobody knows, right? So you're basically just gambling, hoping this will happen, and hope is not a strategy, right? You don't want to gamble with your financial future. I mean, you've worked really hard to make that money, right? So why do we want to gamble with that? We want to treat it with respect. So true diversification is not putting all your eggs in one basket. That's the absolute wrong thing to do. No matter, even if it's the best stock in the world like Apple or whatever, like you still don't want to have all your money in one stock because anything could happen with one company. What if even if you put money in, let's say, Tesla, and then something happens to Elon Musk, the stock's going to drop 50% in one day, right? So a lot of things can go wrong. So we don't want to take a chance with our financial future. So we don't want to try to get rich quick. We want to get rich for sure. So invest in it for the long haul. A lot of people try to get there faster. You tell them, okay, if you do this, you're going to be a millionaire in like 7, 8, 10 years. But they want to get there today. So they end up gambling. They want to get there now. I'm impatient. And they take these big risks. And what happens? They go even further. So it's not like they didn't go forward. They actually went back because they lost the money. Now they have to make all that money back just to get back to break even. So I think that's not something in smart investing. So true diversification is having a lot of different stocks in a lot of different sectors. And another mistake people make with diversification is that they say, you know what, Anmol, I'm very diversified. I have Apple, I have Amazon, I have Google, I have Microsoft. I'm like, well, you only have technology stocks. So that's not really diversification. What if something happens to the technology sector? Then all of them are going to go down together, right? So you need to have some energy stocks, some oil companies, some real estate companies, some technology companies, Apple, Google, some car manufacturers. So now you're fully diversified. So if one part of the economy goes down, you're not affected because something else is going to go up, right? So like for example, last few years, we had even in 2020, we had all the technology stocks kind of were going up one time and then it came hard one time. But in that time frame, if you had some money in gold, something else, you were still okay. You didn't lose all your money. But if you put all your money in like GameStop or some Dogecoin or some random cryptocurrency, then yeah, you're gonna lose it. And honestly, I hate to say it, but I think people deserve to learn the lesson the hard way.
Yeah, and actually, when I was studying that course, and that time also they mentioned that many successful investors, they even put into the regular mundane and non-glamorous kind of products, and they put money over there because those are regularly needed. So whether you have job or not, means you will take shower. Whether you have job or not, you will eat food. So something like that, which is really not glamorous, but hey, it is really vital and
Yeah,
needed
because
for
the
your daily
glamorous ones,
life.
the faster things go up, the faster the stock also comes down. And with the glamorous kind of the hype, what I call the hype-based investments, everybody online, if you go, everybody will tell you buy this, buy this. Everybody will tell you what to buy. But have you noticed nobody ever tells you when to sell it, right? Everybody just tells buy this stock, buy this crypto, but nobody
Yeah.
will ever tell you when to sell it. So you have to tell yourself when to sell it. And that's why I tell people, unless you learn how to do this, unless you have gone through our programs, you know how to read charts, you have a trading plan, just like you would not enter a business without a business plan, why would you enter an investment without an investment plan? So first we create all of that, and then sure you can do it. Once you've gone through all of that, then you've all the knowledge, you can go out and pick stocks and do your things. But if you're not knowledgeable, if you haven't studied it, then just put the money in the overall market and don't even think about picking stocks. Just buy the S&P 500, right? Buy the Vanguard Total Market Fund, and your money's going to double every 6 to 7 years.
Yeah, I remember actually, my husband watches this show called Mad Money. And yeah, you are absolutely right. The most of the time he's just telling what to buy, when to buy, and all, but he hardly mentions any time about selling.
Yeah.
You are
And
so
even his
true.
track record,
Means,
actually, Jim
yeah.
Cramer is what you're talking about. If you actually look at his track record, it's horrible. If you look at all the stuff there's websites that track everything he's mentioned on Mad Money, and they see how the stock's done after he recommends them. And if you followed all of that advice, you would be losing money.
Okay. Yeah. So you mentioned, yeah, be patient and yeah, means give some time for learning. You also mentioned that think long term. But do you want to add some more points about achieving success,
I
especially
think
in
you have to
trading?
surround yourself with the right group of people, right? Because in when you have a job, right, you have colleagues, you have, employees, or you have people to talk to. In trading, it could be a lonely business, right? You're by yourself in your computer, and there's nobody looking over your shoulder. It's very easy to make a mistake, mess up, and just close your laptop. Nobody will ever find out how much money you lost, right? So there's no accountability there. So you have to create that structure for you. So we do that because we have a live trading room. It's a chat room. I live stream myself every single day trading with my screen share, my camera, my audio, and I do everything in live. So that what that helps me is we have a community now of traders all around the world that come in and chat and interact. So it's a really good group of people. So I would say surround yourself with a group of people, because when you're surrounded by growth-minded people, they're going to lift you up. When you're struggling, they're going to help you. They're going to, lift you up. And if you're doing well, they're going to cheer you up. They're going to cheer you on. And I think that's really, really important to have. And then having mentors and coaches are really important. I even though I started in college, like I didn't just randomly start buying and selling stocks and learning it like most people do. I hired a coach. I said, hey, I want to learn everything. I want to do this properly. I want to learn the ins and outs of this business. And I paid money to do that, right? But that was the best investment I ever made, because I've never needed to do it after that. So I think that's what I would tell people is don't try to do it alone, because this is a very competitive business. You're competing with traders like me, traders from Goldman Sachs, big banks. If you think you're going to just read an article online and buy a stock and beat them, the chances of that are very low, right? Because that article is being read by millions of people. So you don't have any advantage. Everybody else has also read that article. So you have to know how to properly trade it so that you can compete in the marketplace. So get a coach, get a mentor, learn how to do this seriously, and this will be the best and the most rewarding business ever.
Yeah, having coach or mentor, that is so important because you want to learn from mistakes. Yeah, it is good to learn from your own mistakes, but it is better to learn from somebody else's mistakes, because the coach or mentor, he or she will tell you what works, what doesn't work, and then you will have a shortcut to success. And also, the mentor will look at your blind spots, because you cannot see everything in you, and especially maybe even your ego may not allow you to look at your lack or something. Yeah, non-expertise in any particular field. And the mentor, having mentor, it is the best strategy for anything, any business. And association, as you mentioned, that is also so important. During COVID time, we learn that if you want to catch a cold, you have to associate with people who already have
Yeah.
cold, then you will catch cold. Yeah, if you want to become a bank robber, associate with someone who is
Mm.
robbing bank for a long time. So, but it is other way also true. If you want to become successful, and if you want to become successful, especially doing trading, associate with people who are really good at trading. That is so important, and
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. No, there is a there controversial topic. I can always say that
Mm.
insider trading. So, and we know many cases means people even they were caught and they got into jail and all. So what many
Mm.
people even don't know what that is. So
Yeah,
will
so
you please
insider trading is
elaborate?
basically what all of our politicians in Congress do right now. So it's basically they have information on the stock that is not yet public information, but maybe they have a little bit advantage, right? So then they end up buying, they or their family or somebody they know, they buy the stocks before the news happens. So when it goes up, they can profit off that. So actually, I think Nancy Pelosi's got the best track record. She's like the best investor of all time, better than any other investor, because and she did that recently too. She bought a stock, and then the next I think 3 days later there was a buyout or merger news, and the stock went up, and then she took profits. Even Nvidia, she bought it before it started to go up. So insider information is basically because all these politicians, they are regulating those companies, so they know the laws they're going to pass before they pass them. So they or their family end up buying their stocks before, so when the news happens, they can get out. So even there was a lot of things even with Visa stock a few months ago. I think last year, Visa stock had some news, and the Department of Government or whatever was investigating something, so the stock dropped a good amount. But if you look at the politicians' trades, they all sold it before the lawsuit happened. So they didn't end up losing any money. So these things happen all the time. And I think there definitely needs to be something done to control it because it's illegal. Yeah.
Yeah, how come they don't have consequences? This is bad.
Yeah.
How come they don't have consequences?
Yeah.
This is, yeah. Means if I, me as a commoner, if I do insider
Yeah.
trading, yeah, means
Yeah.
basically
It's
it won't
illegal.
be
Most
allowed.
people go to jail for
Yeah.
that. But obviously, the politicians, they nobody looks into them. But I think
Yeah,
it's going to change now. Yeah. Yeah.
I hope so. Yeah. Yeah. So, what about mindset? Because, yeah, all the strategies and all everything, yeah, they're good. Of course, yeah, we need strategies. But I've been into business and I really thought the mindset is so important because first you have to manifest in your mind, then it manifests in reality. So, what is your opinion about mindset while doing any business or
Yeah, I
especially
think
trading?
mindset is the most important thing, whether it be trading, whether it be your own business or anything else in life that you want to achieve success in. Mindset is absolute key. Because you could give anybody the right strategy. Hey, do this strategy, you're going to make it. But if they're not in the right mindset, they're not going to do the strategy, right? You can tell people, hey, this is what you need to do for your business, and then they don't do it. So mindset is what gets you to do. So you need both. You need strategy and mindset because you can be in the best mindset in the world, meditate all day, you're like manifesting, and nothing's gonna come, right? You still have to go out and act and take action. But when you combine the manifesting and the spirituality and the mindset and combine that with taking action, your karma, then the results will really take place.
No, you're absolutely right because mindset is so important, and many times, if your self image is seeing that you can make only 10,000, then it is very hard to make 100,000 because your income is directly proportional to your self image. So it's so important to associate with people who are succeeding, and then, of course, you can improve your mindset, you can improve your self image, and you can improve your income because your income is like average of five people
Hmm.
you associate with the most. So yeah, so why not to associate with really really
Yeah.
successful people? So what are your hacks for productivity? Means I really appreciate you mentioned about meditation and yeah, of course those are really important things, but in general, what tips you can give about
I think the
increasing
biggest thing is,
productivity?
like there's something I do is called the critical six. So every night in the evening, I write down the six things I need to do tomorrow to make tomorrow a successful day, right? And I write those things down before I go to bed, so that way when I wake up, I don't have to wake up and think, okay, what am I going to do today? What should I do today? I don't have to think because it's already planned the night before. And when I wake up, I don't look at my email, I don't look at my messages, I don't talk to anybody until I get those six things done. Once I get those six things done, then I've conquered the day, I won the day, and I can do whatever I want. So if I get my six things done by 1 p.m., then I'm free. I got all day to do nothing, to do whatever I want. But if it takes me 9 p.m. to be at my desk to get those six things done, then I stay there and I get those done. So that's what I pick people to do because what a lot of people do is they wake up and they're like, okay, what should I do today? What's my to-do list? You already missed. You're already too late. You're already wasting half the day thinking of what you're gonna do. So I do that the night before, and then once you've written those six things down, then you open up your calendar and you give all those six things time slots. Like 12 to 2, I'm going to do this. 1 to 2, I'm going to do this. 1:30 to 2:30, I'm going to do this. And then if you do it like that, every day, imagine, every day you keep doing those six things. You do it. Where are we going to be in 3 months from now if every day you acted like that? Just six things, not seven, not nine. Just do those six things, and that'll move the needle forward because whatever gets scheduled gets done. If it's not scheduled in your calendar, it's not going to get done. Something's going to come in, life's going to happen, some message is going to come in, some emails going to come in, you're going to get distracted and you're not going to be able to take action and you're going to miss the day. And then that happens to most people every day, over and over. Oh, something happened, I couldn't get it done, or something will find ways to take your time away. So the best way is to you give time away first to all the things that are important to you, and then rest of it you can guilt-free spend your time as long as you get those six things done.
This is so important. This is so important. I learned from you now because every morning actually I would wake up and I would make my priority list, three or five things, and then I prioritize, and then I tackle that list. And then I started moving little bit early on that, okay, just in my bed I started visualizing what all the appointments are coming up, and then I started visualizing the positive outcome. But I really like your idea. No, I'm going to implement your idea from tonight, that okay, why to wait even while waking up in your bed previous night. Actually, if you make a list, that is really good, because
Mm.
then you will be sleeping on it, and your subconscious mind during your sleep will work on it, and it will give you the best possible ideas. And this I'm going to implement from today. That I learned a lot. And even making a list early in the morning also I learned really hard way, because I started as a solopreneur, and as a solopreneur, you wear many hats. So for me, how I was starting my day, I would start doing things which were
Right.
really comfortable to me. So, for example, I would just go on social media, I would create some content on it. So, whether I had a strategy to do social media or not, but it was very comfortable for me, so I would do that. So, anything, I would really design nice images, because I like to do that. Oh, okay, it is so nice. And then at the end of the day, I felt I achieved the thing. Because what happened, I was working on the things which were of really low priority, but I was comfortable doing it. And these things
Mm.
can be easily
Yeah.
delegated, outsourced, because I was, means basically as a solopreneur wearing many hats. It is better for me to wear CEO head,
Mm.
not a graphic designer or not a social media marketer. Those are very simple tasks. Those I can just make a flow, automate, and I can delegate, and someone else can work on it. But as a business owner, I have to use my brain, my strategy, and I have to, and that I learned really hard way, because and making the list, a list of, I'm making five, but I
Mm.
think I'll start making six now. So that actually what happens, even if you don't finish all those things on that particular day, still you are working on the most important things for that day. So at the end of the day, you don't feel, you don't have regrets. You don't feel that you achieved nothing, because you achieved the most important thing for that particular day. And that is really great productivity hack. So now I'm not going to wait till morning or till I'm waking up in bed. I'm going to make the list in the previous night, and I will sleep on it, so that I have
Yeah.
full plan for my next day.
Oh, definitely.
Thank you,
I
I
do
really
that in my
appreciate.
journal. So I have a journal on my website. It's called the Success Journal, and it's very simple. It takes literally
Wow.
4 minutes a day to fill out the journal. So one page you fill out in the morning, and one page you fill out at night. And it's very simple. I mean, people can get the journal on my website, but you can even do it on a piece of paper. You don't need to get the journal, although the journal explains the science behind all of that. But in the morning, you're just writing, waking up with some gratitude, right? So you write some gratitude exercises. What am I grateful for? What's my top priority for today, right? And then that's basically it. And in the evening, you're going to write down reflection of the day. What could I have done better today, right? Or what went really great today? Where's room for improvement? And then you'll write down, okay, 6 things I need to do tomorrow when I wake up. And I always tell people, do the hardest thing first. Why? Because once that's out of the way, even if you miss the other 5 tasks, you got the hardest thing out of the way. And your willpower and your motivation is going to be highest in the morning. It's going to drop as the day goes by. You're going to get tired, mental fatigue.
Oh
So
yeah.
get the hardest thing first,
Yeah.
and then that will give you so much momentum and confidence. You'll feel so good about yourself. Then all the other tasks, you'll notice they're like pinballs in a bowling alley. They just all fall anyway. You get them all done if you tackle the hardest one first. So I think that's a good way to do it. The journal is a great one. I used to use a lot of journals. So I kind of backed it up by science, and I created this journal that people can literally spend less than 5 minutes a day, and they will fulfill all their journaling practices and still get the scientific benefits that are programmed into that.
That is really great, because I have been starting my day with gratitude, and so basically having 3 days or three things or five things to be grateful for. And universe is a genie, and universe sees that you are thinking of gratitude. So universe will give you more and
Mm.
more situations and people in your life to be grateful for, because universe sees what you are thinking of the most and keeps on giving you more and more of that. If you are playing victim mentality, you will get more situations in your life
Mm.
to be victim. So it's always start your day with gratitude. But no, I learned new thing from you, that about the ending day with reflection, and that I'm going to implement from today, because I was not doing that. This is a really important point. I'm going to start apply that from today. Yeah, morning gratitude, I started doing that, but reflection, it is so good. And journaling is really good. And doing hardest thing first, it is so important, because I remember the evening, night time, when dark around there, somehow you lose the motivation, and I think you spend whole day working, so you also have some kind of fatigue and low energy. So doing hardest thing first, it is a really great point. I'm going, and people generally tackle it
Mm.
exactly opposite way. I mean, that is what I was doing, right? Doing the most easiest thing first, doing the most comfortable things first. But hey, these are the most important thing. Remember, for these tips, you if you read some previous books, Carnegie, actually, he had given like $1 million check to one guy who
Mhm.
suggested these tips to it. I mean, these are, and that was like a
Yeah.
couple of centuries back. So you can imagine how valuable these tips are, and you are just giving these tips for free to our audience. So means I cannot
Oh.
thank you enough. You are changing lives. Means this is a global impact, because our
Mm.
podcast is heard everywhere. I have audience even from Australia, New Zealand, Europe, everywhere, and of
Right.
course US, India, of course. So I really want to thank you. You are creating global impact, and I am personally learning
Oh, thank you. I'm
so
glad to
much
hear
from
that.
you. So what? So what steps? Yeah, do you suggest someone to do, because in between the cryptocurrency was very prevalent, and I remember I used to go to the retail shop and all, and the guy used to tell me, I put so
Mm.
much money in crypto, and I know I'm going to be millionaire, and you won't see me working here maybe
Yeah.
in a month or two or all. So what is your opinion about cryptocurrency and that
Yeah,
market? And
cryptocurrency right now is like how internet stocks used to be in the year 2000, right? Where all the internet stocks were going up, and even company that had a name rock.com that just used to sell rocks, right? All of their stocks were going up. So same thing would happen with crypto in, 2020, 2021. For all the cryptocurrency, everything was just going up. So people thought, hey, we're just going to get rich. But that's what happened, right? All of them, majority of them came back down, and some of them came back up. So that same thing happened with internet stocks, where 90% of the companies went to zero, but then there was a few winners like Amazon, Google, Microsoft that became big companies. Same thing's going to happen with crypto as well. 90% of them are worth $0. They're going to go to zero, 99% actually. And then 1% are going to come out ahead and winners. So in crypto, there's a few things people need to do. There's three ways to trade it, right? One is if you are a trader like me, so you know how to recharge, you can get in, get out, and you can make money doing that, right? The other way to do it is you don't know which cryptocurrency is going to be successful, but you know that you believe in crypto as a whole. Then you buy a few different cryptocurrencies and create a diversified portfolio. Have some Algorand, have some Bitcoin, right? And you can create some diversification like that. So now you're not reliant on one coin, because you never wanted to put all your money in any one thing. You should never have all your money in one property, right? Or one stock or even one crypto. So same philosophy, you have to diversify. Or the third thing, if you are somebody who's like really involved in the cryptocurrency, you've studied it. And by study it, I don't mean you read a few tweets on Twitter or some Reddit. That's not studying it. You need to look into the technology and ins and outs, and then you can actually invest in. Like, I love cryptocurrency. I think long term that's the future, but it's still very early. I think it might take 2030, 2027 for it to fully start coming into play. But I do think that, especially with this new administration, they've made it very clear it's a priority for them. So I think everybody should have some crypto. So there's a cryptocurrency that I really love. I'm invested in that. It's called Algorand. It was formed by MIT professor Silvio McCallie. He won the Turing Award. He invented zero knowledge proofs. Even Bitcoin white paper, Satoshi mentioned him as well. So he's considered the godfather of cryptocurrency. He invented a lot of these things people use now. So he started his own cryptocurrency. So I'm invested in that just because I believe in the founding member of that. And yeah, I spoke to a lot of professors in MIT, Wharton Business School. They all were suggesting this one to me as well. So I looked into that. But the main thing is, you have to look into with crypto, why are you investing in crypto, right? Are you investing in to get rich quick? You're going to get disappointed. If you're investing in it for the long haul in a technology, then I think it's going to be a great investment. So, but you need to look at what is it being used for. A lot of these coins these days, they're just going up and down on hype, but there's no use for it. Like nobody needs it. Nobody needs to use it for anything. With Algorand, they're actually using it now in real world. So, for example, there's a company called TravelX that does airline tickets on Algorand blockchain on NFTs. So, if you are traveling somewhere and let's say you cannot travel anymore, well, now in the current world, you have to call your airline, you have to cancel your ticket, right? With TravelX, if you buy a ticket and you cannot travel, you can actually just transfer or sell the ticket to me in blockchain, and the name automatically gets transferred over to me on the ticket. Nobody need to contact the airline, so it's direct ownership. So that's one way it's being used. Also, there's a company Lofty AI, so you can invest in real estate now using Algorand blockchain. So the properties are tokenized on the blockchain now. So you don't need to buy the whole property. You can buy tokens in all different properties. And but the best part is you get the rent every day. So you don't have to wait till the end of the month to get your rent. Whatever your rent is, it gets sent directly to your blockchain account in 2 seconds every day. So yeah. So that's
Oh
what I'm.
wow. Yeah, that is really that is really great to know. And in my family, what is happening right now? My daughter is trading, and my husband actually he took early retirement, and he is also getting into trading. Previously, he traded, then he stopped, and now he was never actually active or day trader or something like that. But now he took early retirement, and he's putting more time into trading. So I see both of them and I tell both of them, teach me what you are doing. And my daughter, she tells, Mommy, I just buy and when I see it is high enough, I sell. She
Right.
say, I have no strategy, nothing. And then I asked my husband, I say, you should tell me how you do trading and all. Then he once sat with me and he went through his account and he showed me, see, these are the calls and these are the puts and these are these the strategies, they work like these. And also he was
Right.
explaining me, but I really feel none of us might. I mean, he's
Yeah.
also new. My daughter is also new.
Yeah.
I'm totally new. So if we want to get started, means we three
Mm.
are totally at different level. Means my husband knows at least little bit. My daughter, she just buys low high sales and
Mm.
she doesn't have any strategy. And for me, I'm totally clueless. So if we want to start into stock trading, and if we want to get trained, and if we want to learn more, if we want to educate more, what
I think the
should we do
best place is,
next?
I have a mastermind group. It's called Evolve Mastermind. So it's got a great group of people there. There's VC people, there's angel investors, there's real estate people in there, there's business owners in there, there's investors and traders in there. So then in that mastermind, what we do is people get access to all of my training courses. There's like 20 plus hours, like 30, 40 hours of like material on everything, all the way from the basics all the way till advanced A to Z of trading and investing. So it's the most comprehensive course out there on the planet. It's like really university level courses. So they get access to all of that, and then they get access to come into the live trading room where they can actually watch me every single day, Monday to Friday, without fail. Every single day I stream from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. every day Eastern time, and they can see my screen, they can see my camera, they can see my audio, just like they're sitting next to me, and they'll watch me trade. And as I'm trading, I'm also explaining and I'm teaching why I'm trading and why I'm getting in, why am I getting out here. So a lot of people come there for the learning, but a lot of people just come there and they just copy whatever I'm doing, which I don't recommend. I think always you should try to learn what I'm doing. But if somebody wants to do that, that's their priority. A lot of people do that. And then in the mastermind group, we do Zoom calls. Every month, twice a month, we'll get on Zoom calls together and we'll kind of coach people through all the stuff that they're learning and doing. And then, they have the private community access. They get access to that. So it's the best way to learn. That's like if somebody's like serious, they want to get started. It's like an annual membership. You get started and then you get everything I've ever created. And then I personally help you over the 12 months to make sure you fully execute all of the things you learn. But if somebody who's like, you know what, I just want to learn how to do it myself, then they can also just get the courses. They don't need to join the mastermind. they can just get the courses and they can start learning it right away. But what I found is people need the learning from the courses, but then they need somebody to do it with them so that they can get it, so they make sure they're not making mistakes. So those are the ways to get started. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
honestly, like learning to trade is not that hard. Like learning to trade, if somebody spends, like a whole weekend with me, I can teach them, right? Then the next step is going to be your mindset to be able to actually do what I just taught you, right? Because I can teach you, hey, get out of the stock when it goes down this much, take a small loss. But some people, they keep holding. Maybe it'll come back up. Let me buy more, right? And then you basically ruin the strategy. So learning how to trade is easy. I can teach you in a weekend, but then getting you to do what I taught you, that is usually what takes a little bit more time.
yeah, I totally agree with you because just course is fine. And I personally also design many courses, of course, not in your field, but other fields. Course means basically people they just buy, and yeah, if they're really self starter, that's fine. But membership is so important because if someone is going through the course and later on when they need help, they need some hand holding, and they want to overcome the challenges, the support and help is so important, and especially this ongoing, and it is so important. And many times you may not achieve just within a month or two, and that's why the annual membership makes so much of sense, because if you want to see some kind of substantial return, then annual
Yeah.
membership is so important. And I always tell entrepreneurs, whatever challenges you are going to get tomorrow will be different, and they will be bigger than the previous challenge, because that is how you are building muscles. And that time also, you need someone to help you, guide you, support you to go through those challenges. And it is so important because nobody understands a solopreneur, only one solopreneur
Right.
understands other solopreneur. And when you are into community of people who have gone through those challenges and how they overcome, you can apply the same for your field and
Yeah.
you succeed. So if someone wants to yeah, follow you, or if someone wants to contact you, what are the best
Yeah, I
channels
think the
where they
best
can look
way to
for
get
you?
started would be to read my book first, right? So you can see how I understand things and if you like my style or not, number one. And yeah, I'd like to give your listeners a free copy of my book. They can just go to my website, go.unmol.net, and then they can just put in their shipping address. We'll be happy to send it out, international, no problem. They just have to cover the shipping and we'll send them a book. That's a great place to get started first. So you can see the mindset that you might need for this business. And if you like what I say, then we can definitely talk more and see if we can work together. But the best place to get in touch with me would be Instagram or X, Twitter. My username on both of those is Delta90. It's a DELTANINETY. So Delta90 on both of those social media channels. And then my website, livetraders.com, unmol.net. They can learn more about it. But the next step really is for most people to, after they read the book, is to book a call with a member of my team. And then that way we can find out about your goals and kind of guide you. Because at this point, we've coached thousands of traders. So we can get a good sense of, is this the right thing for you or not? And sometimes we tell people, based on where you're at, I don't think this is the right business for you. So I try to save them the trouble of trying to learn and do it when I can clearly see that this is not something you'll be able to do. But if we talk to you and we feel like, you know what, this is something you can do, then we can create a plan. Okay, should you do more short-term trading? Should you do more long-term stuff? Should you do day trading in and out every day? Or should you do swing trading? So swing trading is when you buy a stock today, maybe I sell it next week. Maybe you buy it today, maybe I sell it tomorrow, but I'm not getting in and out the same day. That's much easier for people to do. It's actually much more profitable even than day trading. And it's much easier because you don't need to be in front of your computer all day. You can have your podcast, you can have your job, you can have your business, but now and again do one or two trades here and there. And I run a newsletter for that too, where every time I take a trade, people get a text message, they get an email when I'm buying it, when I'm selling it, what's my target, all of that stuff. And we're doing a really great job. And a lot of people in the newsletter are there that are business owners. They have a job. They don't want to learn. They're just like, send me the stuff. I'll just do the same thing that you're doing. And they're doing a pretty good job with that as well.
Yeah, that is really good, and I really appreciate you being so generous and giving your book for free. I totally appreciate. And I think I asked what all the questions I wanted to ask, but in case I missed something, and if you want to give a parting advice to our listeners feel
Yeah,
free
I
to
would
do
just tell your
so.
listeners to, it's okay to ask for help. Don't have that ego, because sometimes people have the ego. I'll figure it out myself. I'll do trial and error. You might figure it out yourself. You totally can, absolutely. But what good is it if you waste 3 years trying to learn it and then you learn it? You could have got there in 1 year had you just, used somebody else's mistakes. Why do you want to make the same mistakes that other people have already made? Right? So learn from that. It's much easier to learn, as you said earlier, from other people's mistakes because it's less expensive, right? Because for them, you're only paying for consulting or coaching or whatever, but you don't have to lose the money in your account, which a lot of people do in trading and investing. So I think that's the biggest thing. But the other thing is what we talked about in the beginning of the episode is integrity. Make sure you follow through on your own word. Whatever you say you're going to do, make sure you do it, because that is what builds self-confidence and self-esteem. Is when you do something you said you're going to do, you feel great about it, you feel good about it, builds your self-confidence, builds your self-esteem, and it just keeps going, right? But when you do say you're going to do something and you don't do it, that leads into low self-confidence, low self-esteem, and then the cycle keeps repeating itself. So you have to break that cycle by following through on your word.
Oh, this is so important. Means nuggets after nuggets. Totally appreciate. I personally, actually, I will go back and listen to this episode again and again, and just cannot wait to join your mastermind, because I think it will be useful for all three of us. Even though we all three of us are at totally different level, but I think I know we can benefit from all this. And so these are your group coachings. Do you have
Yes,
any
one-on-ones
one-on-one
all.
coaching? If someone wants extra effort, a
Yes,
VIP day
all
or
of those
one-on-one
are
coaching or
available, but
anything
I
like
usually
that.
tell people go through the courses first, because then I can coach you on it, right? Because the goal of the coaching is to help you apply everything you've learned and to coach you. The goal is not to teach you, because it's like 30 hours of like on courses. So, but yeah, after somebody goes through the coaches, then they can do coaching with me. And in the mastermind, they do get like one session for free so that we can, and you can use it whenever you want, whether you want to use it in the beginning or at the end. But I think it'll be great because I have a lot of people who actually do it together as a family. I think there's nothing better than that. Because when people do it alone, nobody understands you. Your family doesn't understand what you're doing. There's nobody supporting you. But when you all three of
Oh
you are
yeah,
doing together, then I mean, hey, you all are in the same boat. You can talk together about it. You have trading buddies. You have accountability, right? You
yeah,
have a team supporting you. And yeah, I'd love to help you and the family for the mastermind. And
yeah, and something to talk about. Otherwise means both are
yeah,
totally separate generation. Means our music is different, their music is different.
yeah,
The movies which we go for different, theirs different. Everything, and now here we find
yeah. And
something common ground, so that we can bond better and we can talk better and we have
right.
something to look forward to it. It's so amazing. Means yeah,
Yeah,
it's really amazing deal. Means I'm opting for it, and I'm pretty sure our
yeah,
listeners will do that too. So thanks a lot, Anmol, coming and blessing our family, our community. Totally appreciate, and just cannot wait to get started. And hey, yeah, become wealthy in every area, become wealthy in mindset, and of course in bank
absolutely. Yeah,
balance.
no,
Why not?
thank you. It was great
Thank you.
chatting with you as well, and I look forward to working with you and anybody who's listening to the audience. And I think it'll be a great business because in Evolve we have so many speakers. Like I teach the trading and investing part in the mastermind, but then I have other speakers who teach real estate that come on crypto. I have speakers come on who talk about like in wealth building, taxes, accounting. So we make sure that we are hitting all areas properly and optimizing our life to where our goals are. And I think the best part, if you guys three are doing it together, is because sometimes if one person is doing, let's say, this strategy, Warren Buffett strategy, and let's say your husband is doing some other strategy, you're doing some other strategy, even though you're all trading, it's hard to communicate because you all are looking at different stocks or different characteristics or criteria. But when you're all doing the same strategy, that's what makes the chat room that we have really good because everybody is trained the exact same way. So we all speak the same language and we all are looking for the same things. So I think, but yeah, super happy to talk to you about it. And thanks for having me. You too. Take
Thank
care.
you. Take care.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
and
too. Happy
happy
Valentine's Day
Valentine's
as
Day.
well.
Hey, thanks for joining us. We are blessed to have you as part of our community, and whatever way we can help you, serve you, let us know. Please subscribe and let us know how we can help you, what resources you want. We have lots of free resources and also free collaboration joint venture groups you can join. And explode your business, because most solopreneurs quit their business before they launch their first products, and I don't want that to happen to you. And that's why we have special launch service where you can monetize your digitals and become profitable as fast as within 7 days. And if you want to scale your business, join our membership New Beginning Success Collaboration, where we'll provide you MRR and PLR products and collaborations so that you can scale your business with ease and effortlessly. And hey, if you want to sell your digitals all over the world, yes, we will provide you affiliates more than 200 countries. So everything is possible. Just live your dream, follow your dream, and whichever way we can help you, do let us know. Thank you and God bless you.